Hello, BookTube, and welcome back to Shorty September, terrific BookTube event dedicated to throwing some love at the shorter books on your shelves or perhaps your TBR. And I've been having great fun tossing a Shorty September book on the pile of every night's reading, sometimes more than one. But I've been taking them from one particular stack of books that I accumulated, one particular stack of battered old mass market paperbacks. Because something tells me that I'm not going to be reading many mass market paperbacks for the rest of my life. So I'm sort of giving them in this year and maybe next year a last hurrah, where I read or reread the ones I have. Last night was a reread, but it was a reread from so long ago that essentially I was looking at it with new eyes. I remembered everything that happened in it, but I was essentially looking for new things. The whole joy of rereading, you're looking for new things, and you're looking for those new things as a different reader. So I read from the 1960s Dolphin Island by Arthur C. Clarke, which is this is a young adult book. I don't think it would be designated that way, but it is. And it's the story of a young boy who stows away on board a hover ship, a massive hover ship, and it crashes in the Pacific Ocean. So he is off to adventure right away because he becomes friends with dolphins in the ocean. And then he becomes friends with a scientist and, of course, in a book like this, a father figure who is studying dolphins and who knows more about them than anybody. And along the way, the boy has to deal with the dangers of the ocean. He has to learn all about things like octopuses or coral reefs or storms. The big plot of this book is a gigantic storm. Also dolphins. At the heart of it all are many, many, many Arthur C. Clarke info dumps about dolphins that you won't mind. If you're familiar with this author, you won't mind. You'll know that you don't mind his info dumps. He's actually really good at it. It's not that you, again, when it comes to writing, it's not that you avoid info dumps. It's that you only do them if you're good at them. You don't include them if you're not. And those were the most interesting parts for me here. The plot is standard coming of age, standard, boy becomes a man. I wish that my paperback were in slightly better condition, but I'm amazed that it held up for last night's reading. And we learned those info dumps were the charm for this time around. Like when the professor is talking to the boy about the dangers that dolphins face in the open ocean, I naturally thought about Startide Rising, one of my favorite science fiction novels, because the professor says dolphins have just had basically a conference with wild dolphins, which the man describes quite rightly as the first conference between man and an alien species. But he says, some of you I know think I've overestimated the intelligence of dolphins. Well, now you can judge for yourselves. They've come to us, asking for help against this most ruthless of their enemies. There are only two creatures in the sea that normally attack them. The shark, of course, is one, but he's not a serious danger to a school of adult dolphins. They can kill him by ramming him in the gills. Because he's only a stupid fish, stupid even for a fish, they have nothing but contempt and hatred for him. I have a friend, one particular friend, who would very much disagree with sharks being stupid. But the professor goes on. The other enemy is of different matter altogether because he's their cousin, the killer whale, orca. It's not far wrong to say that orca is a giant dolphin who's turned cannibal. He grows up to 30 feet in length, and specimens have been found with 20 dolphins in their stomachs. Think of that, an appetite that needs 20 dolphins at a time to satisfy it. No wonder that they've appealed to us for protection. They know we've got powers they can't match. Our ships have been proof of that for centuries. Perhaps, during all their ages, their friendliness to us has been an attempt to make contact and ask for help in their continual war. Only now we've had the intelligence to understand them. If that's true, I feel ashamed of myself and my species. It's I read there are two. The guy goes on at length two different times in the book about that sort of thing, and that automatically reminded me of the big reveal in one of the big reveals in Startide Rising and the great chase scene. Any of you who've read the book will know that when I say a great chase scene, I'm not talking about Streaker being chased by the ancient aliens of the galaxy. I'm talking about another chase, a chase that happens in the water, that is thrilling, no matter how many times I reread it. And the big reveal of that chase is just amazingly good. So I automatically thought of, let's face it, a much better novel than this. This is only barely science fiction and only barely interesting. I imagine that I would have had a lot. It would have hit me a lot more if I'd read it at just the right time in my life. Maybe if I'd been a kid on the coast of Florida and I found a battered copy of this and read it, probably it would have affected me a lot more. But I kept thinking about better books. Not only Startide Rising, but also King of the Sea, a novel that, again, isn't quite science fiction, about a full-grown man who makes an alliance with dolphins in the open ocean, and also has a scarifying encounter with a killer whale. Those are just better. They're just better done. Arthur C. Clarke is not a very good writer. He's not a bad writer. He's completely competent. He's never wrote a word that wasn't. But he's not thrilling. He's not deep. So, at least in my opinion, he's not. So, I gave him a try, and I reread this thing. It is not. I don't know that it would hold up for another read, but it did survive for Shorty September. That's all I wanted. So, I'll hope for better tonight. We shall see. Plenty of better books out there, and I'll report back. Thank you, BookTube.